All right, we will get started. Thank you guys for joining us today for our Cost Management for Manufacturing with Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations webinar session that we have planned today. We've got Mo and Quay on the call, who are both work in our F&O team. They're excited to show you everything to do with Dynamics 365 Finance and Ops. So today we're going to do a bit of an introduction, and then we're going to talk about manufacturing costing concepts in Dynamics 365. We're going to see a demo from Mo. We're going to get to do some Q&A and then some next steps and following up with Velrada. So you might say, ask us, what is Velrada? What do we do? So at Velrada, we're a specialist Microsoft partner. We work alongside customers to build maturity and return on investment in Microsoft platform technologies. We're about 270 people across Australia, UK, and North America, and we specialize in asset-intensive industries and healthcare primarily as we transform business operations, finance, human resources, field service, enterprise asset management, and IT. As you can see, in the last 12 months, we've worked with over 151 customers and completed just over 267 projects. So it's been a busy year, and we've got quite a few awards that we boast. So this is our trophy cabinet, as we call it, and this is the result of our close relationships with Microsoft that have been built on collaboration, adoption, trust, and ability to deliver. We've been recognized as leaders in Dynamics 365 service for many years running and have coveted advanced specializations that are awarded due to our ability to deliver with excellence. So let's get into why we're here today. So Velrada has earned their right to share wisdom, capabilities, and approach with you all in the manufacturing sector. So in order to involve all of you, we wanted to do a quick survey just to see. It will help us to tailor this demonstration as we go, depending on kind of the answers that we get. So I'm just going to put into the chat a link to a form. It's only about 4 or 5 questions. If you wouldn't mind filling it out just quickly, and that will help Mo and Quay while they are doing the demo and talking through things to kind of tailor it to your organization's specific needs. So I'll just give 2 minutes or so to complete the form, and then I'm going to hand it over to Quay. And as you're all filling that out, I will just go ahead and do a bit of housekeeping. So we've got the Q&A function on the Teams call here. If you do have any questions throughout the presentation, please put them in the Q&A section, and then Mo and Quay will be happy to address those questions at the end. All right, so I might hand it over to Quay now.
All right, thank you, Kylie. And welcome everybody to this presentations. My name is Quay Trin, and my current role with Velrada is the National Practice Lead of the Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations team. So basically, I'm handling the whole F&O team down here in Velrada. And welcome all of you to the sessions. My background with the Dynamics system was starting back in 2002, and then been through about over 2 decades with various roles, including technical consultants, functional consultants, solution architect, pre-sales, and then practice management. So in this webinar, I'm gonna introduce to you one of the very common topics that we always got asked by our customers to help them to improve the operations in the manufacturing, which is the manufacturing costing. Right. So yeah, I will spend about 10 minutes on the slides with all of the concepts and how the system architecturing the costing management, and then I'll hand over to Mo, who's one of my team member, and he will do the live demo in the system for you. So Kali, next slide, please. Yep. So basically, this is just a concept where when we are talking about a manufacturing cost, it is including the direct material cost and direct labor cost. This is all of the material you purchase from outside. And the cost of the labor that you put on the production lines. When you consume this cost, they are calculated as the direct cost into the what we call production order, and it's going to be going into the inventory cost. Apart from that, there are multiple what we call indirect costs. So with all of these indirect costs, it could be depreciation, it could be water, powers, it could be transportation, it could be all of the costs that you want to allocate against a number of batches in your productions. Okay, and also if you are taking into account the WIP as well, it is it is including the beginning, the open of the WIP, and taking out the ending of the WIP for the accounting period. So this is all of these things we can handle in Dynamics 365. And in the next slide, if I double click into this diagram, next slide, please, Kylie. It actually bring into us the four key pillars when you are able to utilize the costing in the production for Dynamics 365. The first thing is because you are able to set up the cost groups into each of the items or materials, and with the routing, with the operations, with all of the skill of the workers or resources you use on the production lines, you have a very decent calculations in detail of the cost of the production order prior to running it. And of course, right. One of the key advantages is you can actually separate them by site. So the cost of manufacturing of each site could be varied because of the transportation, because of the different rates that you want to allocate against the manufacturing cost. Because all of those modules are integrated. Well, we got from finance to operations, procurement, sales, productions, master planning, everything are integrated. So you got instant data on time, accurate and updates that you can actually run the reporting and dashboards. There's no batch job, no actually periodic updates or delayed in calculating the cost. Right, depending on the different type of costing method you choose. If you want to run the inventory close and recalculate the stock, that's okay. That reflects the actual cost. But the key point here is there's no disconnections between departments. Okay. And because all of these things are linking together, you have a great opportunity to run the budget planning prior your period of time, right? Because you can run what we call in the system is bill of material. So actually, it takes into account all the setup of the bill of material or routing or indirect costs, and tell you this is your budget planning for the next period of time, right? And because this is the ERP systems, you can trace actually from one end to the other end. For example, if you have something that you want to trace, let's say one serial numbers of the material got defected, advised by the vendor, you can trace all the way back, replace it, and track all the costing, which is updating the cost of goods sold. Yeah, for example, if you want to return from the client and you want to repair, or you want to do different activities, it's all traceable from one end to the other end. Okay. On the next slide, I will actually illustrate a little bit more what I indicate earlier. So this is the architecture of the costing in the manufacturing. As you can see on the right-hand side, there are three main components of the costing on the production order. The first block is the material. So this is all the bill of material where you can set up multiple levels of the bill of material, including sub-assembly. So once you do the calculations, it takes into account all of the default, let's say, trade agreement price with the vendors or estimated cost of the sub-assembly production orders. All of those things can roll up to the production order level. Okay. The second part, which is the direct labor cost, is you can set up machine running cost, the labor cost, the subcontracting cost. For example, if you want to collect the material, you send the material to the subcontractor, they'll do the painting job or whatever the operations for you, and then you get the sub-assembly back, and then you put into the production line again. That's the subcontract cost. And then the third part is all of the indirect costs, which is like allocations allocated to the production order, either by quantity or by percentage or by fixed amount, depending on the calculation you use, right? And that part linking to what we call it as the cost groups, so that you can run reports and analysis by cost groups, right? As you can see on the left-hand side, that's what we call costing sheet. After you run the estimated bill of material calculation, it breaks down all of the costs by the cost groups, as you can see over there. So it gives you the indication of how your finished goods will cost the manufacturing plan for that. Okay, and then once you process the production order, now I'm moving to the right-hand side with the production order. Before you process the production order, you can actually go and run the estimation. The system will, based on all of the setups you've done, and it will estimate the finished goods cost for you prior to you run the production order. And then you can have the choice to adjust the bill of material, like changing the material or changing the vendor of the subcontractor, also those things, to make sure that your production order costing match to what you actually expect, right? And then when you record the actual, right, the system can spit out the variances analysis for you. So comparing what you have budgeted for and what has been actually consumed on the production order. So this is the end-to-end architecture of the costing method, manufacturing costing in Dynamics 365. And then on the next slide, please. Yeah, this is I'm just drilling down a little bit on the variances that you can run, because this is kind of a very strong analysis functionalities in Dynamics 365. And if you choose to run by standard costing, if you choose to run manufacturing by actual cost, for example, FIFO or average cost, the variance between the actual and the budget will go into inventory. But if you use standard costing, you can actually analyze the variances, different type of variances. And on that one, you can run reports and actually seeing, okay, how are you performing on the production orders, right? Are you keep changing the materials because the quality from the vendor is not great, or the vendor is running late? Is that like there are some machines breaking down all the times or whatever, right? So all of these variances you can analyze and paint out the picture how you improve the performance in the production order. Okay, so that is the concept of what we will cover today in the demo. I will hand over to Mo for the live demo from the systems.
Yeah, thanks, Quay. Yeah, I've just shared my screen now. Everybody can see my screen. Yep. All right. Today I'll be just running the demo for a production order, but before I start producing an item and see how the cost impact will be running at the background on the system or on details. This is how the system looks like. It's a cloud-based. We can access the system through a link, just using any internet browser. This is like the home page screen. Here on the left-hand side, we have the navigation. It's been split like on different sections. The first one is the home. Here we have the favorites. Favorites are I'll go and these details here are the recent links that been accessed on the system. I've got the workspaces. Workspaces simply it's the concept in Microsoft Dynamics, the 365 Finance and Operation. It's a collection of commonly used links for specific roles. It contains like tiles and links, reports for specific roles on the system. Here are the modules. Here are all the modules on the system, and this is like varies from business to another. For example, for the retail business, you'll be having like a retail module, and this retail module, it's integrated with all other modules such as GL, account receivables, account payables. Our focus today will be focusing on two modules. The first one is cost management, and the second one, which is the main one, is the production control. So through the production control, if I go and collapse all, I'll be able to see the menu items. We call this a menu item. So in the menu items, I have it like sectioned like per menu items and functions. So I will navigate to production control, production orders, and I'll go to all production orders. This is my starting point to create a production order. On the system, there are different methods of creating the production order. It can be done from a project. If the production order it's based on a project, it can be done directly from the sales and marketing module. But today we'll be demonstrating it directly from the production control, assuming that I'm the production guy working on the company. So just reviewing probably the survey that was provided at the earlier session. Just to give like a quick brief about D365 Finance and Operations, supports all kind of manufacturing. It can be like a mix of manufacturing. Could be like discrete with process manufacturing. Here, if we can see on the top, we create a new production orders for discrete manufacturing, and for here a new batch order. It's the concept for a process manufacturing. For today's demo, I'll be presenting an item called MB 0001, which is a mountain bike. So what I'm gonna do like an assembly for a mountain bike. This mountain bike will have a bill of material and route associated. So let's start with creating the production order. So I will say MB, the mountain bike. That's all the defaulted details. I don't have to go through it because our main focus today is just to review the costing, and I don't want to be running out of time. but it's worth to mention how the bill of material looks on the system, because the bill of materials, it's the list of raw materials that I'll be using to produce this, and here are the quantities, and all of this cost comes out from something that we need to mention as Koi mentioned earlier. It's the concept of the costing sheet. Just before I start the production order, I want to go and review the costing sheet. So it falls under the cost management module, and it's under the indirect cost accounting. So the concept of costing sheet. This is like a very familiar terminology when we have a manufacturing industry. We have two main routes how we track our costing. The first thing for the purchases, and the second thing, it's the cost of conversion, which is the cost of manufacturing. The cost of materials, if I expand it, like here, I have like a different categories: cost of purchase for electrical components, cabinet components, miscellaneous and chemicals. So all of this falls under cost groups. What's the cost groups? Cost groups are predefined groups on the system. It has a cost group type, which is a direct material that gets involved in the production. And if I go down here, there's like the concept of adding an overhead for my materials. Even that this is like a cost of purchase, I might be applying like an overhead for the cost of this material, and this falls under like surcharges to my raw materials. I can go and define it per site. I can have, for example, for site 1 to be 2% of the cost of this certain material to be added. And yeah, I can go and define it per site and with different rates. If I go to the cost of conversion, okay, this is a combination of my materials as well as my labor and additional overhead I can apply, such as the plant overhead. The plant overhead here, like on the system, we defined it just for us to understand as the output unit base. The output unit base, it can come with a subtype. It can be per quantity, per weight, per volume. And if we notice here, we don't have like an observation basis. It means like I don't want to have like a based calculation to apply this overhead rate. And here are where I want my ledger postings to be reflected. So this is like another example. I can apply a percentage per item. And this is, for example, for site 1, as per my current fiscal period, I'm applying 3% for this specific, or the total of the material cost. And lastly, we have the concept of rate per process time. So I've got the subtype to be process or setup or quantity. That was like the quick overview for the costing sheet. So let's go and start the production for our mountain bike. So just for the sake of demo, I want to manufacture 2 bikes, and I'm going to just change the delivery date for, the delivery date for these items to be by next Monday. I will hit create. What will happen now, it will pick up the route and the bill of material associated for this production order and give me the status of created. At this stage, if I want to go and see if there is any associated cost to this production order, I will find nothing, because there is no estimate for this production order has been done. So the first step I'll do the estimate. So what the estimate will help me to achieve it will give me the overall estimate cost as per my configuration, the costing sheet, and the cost of materials. So if I'll go and view my calculation, that will give me the overview estimation for my finished product, and it gets like all the components from the bill of material and all the processes from the route, as well as the overhead, to give me that total estimate. And here, if you can see, this is the total price per unit as per estimated, and this is like our selling price, which is configured on the product master of this finished product. Just if I go and view the overcosting, this is like another view. I have the ability to go and export this in Excel sheet. The system has this capability to go and have the calculation exported by Excel sheet neatly and tightly. So here, if we can see, this is the same structure as the costing sheet. Is just gave me like the breakdown on how my cost breakdown has been structured. Here, like the variable cost and the fixed cost, this is for reporting purposes. We can go and define it on the costing sheet. All right, so now I'm gonna go for the next step. I've done my estimation, so now I want to release it to the shop floor. Once it's released to the shop floor, you can go directly start the production order or release it to the shop floor. So now I'm gonna start my production. But just before I start my production, because I'm using the standard costing, and I just want to create like a kind of like variation between the estimated and the actual. So I'm going to go and assume that something happened during production. I had to add an additional worker to support on the production, so I will not be posting the route cut at this stage. And also, I'm going to have like an assumption that one of the materials got lost on transaction or it was broken. So I want to add like more materials to the consumption on the bill of material or on the picking list that the system has generated based on the estimation. So I will keep these two disabled. So I'm going to hit OK and go to my journal. So what happens at the background, it created a picking list. The picking list contains the list of the materials that I need to complete the manufacturing. So as we said, just to create a variance on the costing, I'll be just updating just like 2 lines maybe, or 3 lines. Okay, save it and post it. And also I will update like the route card also, just to maybe to consume like more of resources being working. I've got like just to mention this, I've got like 4 operations associated to this production, which is the first one. It's the operations assembly. The second one, it's finishing the bike itself and then testing, doing the QA for the bike if it's within the standard, and then packing the bike once it's done. So I'm going to assume that it took me like 6 hours to do the QA testing, just to create a variance. So now I'll go ahead and post my journal. If I'll go back and see how my costing being reflected on the system, I'll go to the tab Manage Cost, and I'll go to my production posting. I'll see that I've got like 3 postings has been done. The first one, it's the indirect cost, which came up what I configured on the posting sheet, I'll be able to go and view the voucher and see how like the in and out from labor applied being being out and WIP for labor, and the same thing for the materials and for the route card. If I'll go and view the voucher, I'll see that the raw materials inventory has been out and went for WIP materials in. So now at this stage, I'm happy. I recorded everything. I recorded all the materials, and everything happened at the background. So I will go and report this product as finished. So the moment I will report it as finished, and I will go back. Now my production posting looks different. I can see like an additional posting has been happening the moment that I reported as finished. It reported that there is a two finished product has been done, and the WIP amount being associated. If I want to go and look at the voucher, it explains to me what happened exactly, where it went out. It went into WIP overhead and the finished good inventory, the WIP out and in on the goods inventory. So at this stage, I can go and end my production order just to see what will happen. So if I will end my production order now at this stage, all my financials has been posted, so there is no way back to go and reset the status of my production. So at least if it was reported as finished and something happened, I can go and reset my status. In some cases, in some other cases, that's not possible, but in some industries it can be allowed. So if I'll go and view my managed costs and go back to production postings again, I'll see like a costing line has been associated, which is like the cost accounted amount, and this is like it's different from the estimated. So at this stage, I have ended my production order, but I would like just to show you something quickly, maybe like something might be useful, just to show like what kind of reports we have on the system related to cost, and like to go down and do maybe the comparison. It's one of my favorite reports. It's the cost estimates and costing, which will go. You either run it for the all production orders that you have, or you select a specific production order to show you how like what's been estimated versus actual in details, bringing all the resources being allocated to this production order, and give you the full details of each items being consumed and what's the consumption. So here, if you remember, like we edited the picking list, it was proposed as 4, but in fact I updated to 6, so it caused like a variation on my proposed like the proposed versing the actual, which is like around maybe $50 difference with all of the variants that I have done. There is a lot of reports, but yeah, I'm just okay. Now, if what Microsoft has done, they implemented something really, really nice and something really, really cool, and I like, which is the workspaces. For some positions, for some like standard positions within the companies, if I'm the person who's looking after the cost and analyzing the cost, I have like a workspace. This workspace as we said, it's a collection of commonly used links. So here I have like the commonly used links that I might be interacting with the system, or I need to have, and also that give us like more of productivity and efficiently for the role in in my organization. So quickly, I have opened the cost analysis. The cost analysis, I can go and view like the inventory accounting analysis for the inventory and for manufacturing. So let's see how this looks like. So here I can go and select the year that I'll be working on, and here for the manufacturing costing analysis also. I can go and filter per site, per year, per quarter, and per company. If I have like a multi-legal entities, also I can go and view these details. So, and this is the first thing. The second thing, it's the cost administration. The cost administration shows me that it's a good way to manage the products. So, for example, here I have released products that needs to be configured, I believe, because this is like missing a cost group. Here also we have like a workspace to see like reports and just go in details on this report. So if I'll go here, for example, just to make this one useful, I'm gonna select a year and show you how looks like. So here I have like for this particular year, my beginning balance and the net charges and the net percentage and the ending balance of that year. And here I can have my inventory overview by site and by item group. Here I can have my inventory statement that gives me like the inventory and the manufacturing accounting. Also, this is like out of the box, even like you can customize whatever report that you require, but I'm just showing the out of the box features that you can see. And yep, I think this is the overall what we can present at this stage. Any questions so far? Do we have any questions on the board?
With these, I think we'll just open the floor for any questions or inquiries. I and Mo will be happy to resolve any inquiries or questions from the concept to the functionalities of the systems. All right. So I think that is, if there's no questions, then the next step is, if you want to have a more tailored conversation, please reach out to our Velrada team with the information on the screen. Put the questions into this meeting, into this webinar. I'm gonna review the questions by the end of the day, and maybe I'll respond to all of those. But in the meantime, thank you very much for your time.